Welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and joining us for this session, Industrial DevOps, What Are the Barriers? In this presentation, Robin and I will continue the Industrial DevOps journey. We will briefly revisit the principles of Industrial DevOps and then discuss the barriers to an Industrial DevOps transformation, along with providing some recommendations based on research and some of our own experiences that we want to continue to validate and believe that you likely have some of these experiences and would welcome that conversation following this presentation. So with that, I am Suzette Johnson. I'm a Northrop Grumman Fellow, currently leading our Enterprise Lean Agile strategy. And with me today, we have Robin. Robin, would you like to do a quick intro?
Yes, so nice to be here as well. My name is Robin Yeman, and I have, like I said, worked at Lockheed for 26 years and recently have had the chance to transition to a not-for-profit. So I am now the Chief Technical Officer for Catalyst Campus. Here you can see Suzette and me. This is, I want to say, 3 or 4 years ago, but Suzette and I have been working and presenting together for over 8-9 years now. We actually had the opportunity to meet at a conference and was listening to each other's presentation, and it sounded like we were both talking on stereo. Like we were saying the same thing, we had the same stories. So after that, we decided to team up and actually tell some of those stories together.
So with that, we want to get into our conversation today about Industrial DevOps. First, we'd like to start by giving a little bit of context of what is Industrial DevOps in case this is a new concept for you. Industrial DevOps is designed for large cyber physical solutions. We have identified 8 principles of Industrial DevOps. And as we talk today about the barriers to Industrial DevOps transformation, we were going to stay centered on principle number 1, which is to ensure that our organizations stay centered on the delivery of value. And while there's many practices and tactics and behaviors that we'll discuss, we want to be sure that we stay focused on the outcomes that we're after, which is delivery of value and the shortest sustainable lead time. So we have a scenario that we are going to kind of put things in context of this AllSet transport company. They're a fictitious company who produces vehicles to support assisted and autonomous vehicles, both commercial and consumer markets. In this context, they have been implementing Industrial DevOps principles for nearly a year. And they're experiencing some challenges, including multiple competitors, rapidly changing technologies, security and compliance issues, and they're also struggling with their adoption of the principles in terms of getting it to stick within their culture and really getting it to apply and be part of how they do business. So with that, Robin, do you want to tell us where AllSet is right now in their adoption?
So absolutely. So basically what we're looking at here is AllSet has been awarded a federal DevOps program, Autonomous Transformation Communication System. And as you can see, this is very much a place or a situation that Suzette and I would find ourselves in, both at Lockheed and Northrop Grumman, in these large cyber physical systems that require multiple different suppliers. All right. So in the context of AllSet, what I'm going to tell you is they really still have a functional organizational structure. Not sure if you guys have ever experienced that, but we're trying to make the transformation, but they still have one. And they haven't had the chance to change because they've got this great big contract and they actually need to get started quickly. So they'll get back to it later. And actually what they're thinking about is, hey, maybe let's just have some IPTs or integrated product teams until they can reorganize. The engineers are still allocating all of the requirements. So when we look at that, we have not had the chance to create these cross-functional teams, these teams that actually can deliver value all the way through the capabilities. They're still staffed organizationally by systems engineers, software engineers, test engineers. Maybe you've had this problem before. The team thinks that in order to get started quickly, maybe they'll just use these sprints and the time boxing to build their architectural artifacts. If we build those first, then maybe we can get started and actually really move into a DevOps program. But we know that this could possibly be a trap. They have developed a detailed master schedule, and they need that schedule so that the customer can see what their milestones are and what their timelines are. But we know that they really need to use a product backlog and move from predictive planning to empirical planning. They have to start immediately. So instead of incrementally staffing up teams, they're going to hold a hiring event and bring everybody on all at one time. And we know that's also a problem. They have detailed statement of work for all of their suppliers, so they've already taken out all of the creativity. Even though they really want to enable, they don't know how to make the change. And because they have promised a really tight schedule, they believe that starting all of the features at one time is the way to go. Now, the reason I bring this up